Welcome to Nebraska Preps Postgame with Damon Benning and Jacob Padilla.
That's the big voice guy. That means we get another episode, a weekly, a double dose now. I get young Michael Jerome Sautter and one Jacob Padilla for another week of NEB Preps, man. Starting to round into form here. Playoff picture is becoming fairly clear.
Well,
at least at the top.
Man, it's already starting.
It's right. This is the week. So, welcome, gentlemen. How are we?
Well, I'm probably a little bit better than Mike is. I wasn't sure we were going to get him here with you being a Steelers fan. And
no, I am not the guy to rub it in. I was just happy to get the win because I did not think we were going to win. So I say we, like I play for the Steelers, but I don't.
I say we about one team, and that is the New York Jets.
Yeah, well, there is the Patriots coming in the next week.
According to this guy, you look like the head coach, so you could probably get away with it.
Yeah, right? How about that last week?
You do.
That was the running joke all weekend. I couldn't believe how that thing just took off. Got laughed off my own show. It's always cool. Yeah. But yeah, so it's like you get some of the formats going. Obviously, you mentioned 8-man ready to go. Probably Stanton leading the way in that one.
Yeah, Stanton, Sandy Creek. It looks like they're going to end up being on opposite ends.
That's the way you'd want it to, right?
Yeah. Last year they were the two best teams. This year they're likely the two best teams. That's an 8-man one. In 8-man 2, there's kind of a handful at the top. You have Archangels, or I'm just going to keep calling Humphrey St. Francis, and Central Valley's in there, and Sandal Stedford.
So we asked, Jacob and I last week, we talked about Central Valley. They got to be in the discussion, right?
Yeah. Their one loss was to Stanton, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So, that's a pretty good loss. So you're looking pretty good, I guess, on that and what they have. And doing the coaches poll, they consistently get a first place vote. But
of the teams that are doing what we thought that they would do, so that would be Millard South,
Westside.
Bennington. I'm just talking about the
top
preseason. So it's Millard South, Bennington, Wahoo, Norfolk Catholic, and Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gone the most about? Wait, did I leave one out there, young Yaakov?
No, I think that's fair.
You're good.
Who has been everything?
Wahoo.
The most, because you could maybe make the case for Millard South.
Because they're just smacking everybody, yeah.
So Wahoo has been the most dominant of that?
Yeah. Millard South, too, with in-state competition.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've had the loss, so you can at least it's not the same as everybody else. Everybody else would have lost to that team, too, but at least you're looking up who has accomplished everything they wanted to so far. I think you can go ahead and put Wahoo. Yeah, Wahoo's slightly ahead just because of that.
Yeah, obviously, Wahoo appears to be really good.
Obviously, Skutt's not the answer anymore after last week. I think that's where we need to start here.
Yeah, let's go right to Class B.
The streak is over.
Yeah.
46
Doesn't
straight
quite
wins.
sound right to say out loud, does it?
And the way it happened was absolutely wild. We're not going to see a game like that again all year.
That's the game of the year so far, no question.
You know what's incredible about that number? Westside would have to win another 18 games.
Yeah, to catch it.
Yeah. You guys tied the Class A record last week, and it's not even halfway.
It's not even in the realm of discussion.
Yeah, really impressive what they've done, which makes what Skutt did all the more impressive. It's a wild game. Start up, 21-0 in the first quarter there for Skutt, and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And then Bennington, 23 straight to take the lead.
Stormed right back.
Oh, and then they got another. So it was 30 straight points. Then they had the bad snap and the punt that turned it back the other way, and then the kickoff return, and then they had the pick six. Kalik got a field goal too. Amount of different ways.
How good is he? Guy's pretty good.
11 catches for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns, school records, which he and Van Dyke have completely rewritten the Skutt passing school records. Also had 2 picks, pick 6, and the go-ahead field goal.
Yeah.
That's...
He's kicked the game-winning field goal. Hey, 2 interceptions.
He's all Nebraska. he's way good.
Yeah. And like they don't do max prep, so they don't necessarily have his stats up there top of mind. But once we get to the end of the season, and they're playing half games, 3/4 games, his numbers are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a really, really good player. And were you surprised at all at the slow start from Bennington, kind of defensively?
Slow start both ways. Heck, we saw them change quarterbacks. Went to Buafaki.
And he was playing well.
Mm-hmm.
Going into last week, I did not see that coming.
This is how good Kalia was in that game. They moved Lordson onto him just playing corner, and he's playing linebacker.
Yeah.
And then they bracketed over the top of that even to try and slow him down.
And it still didn't work.
Yeah.
He's legit. There's no question about that. So they get the flip-flop in the polls, and that's not a bad loss, obviously, for Bennington. But you look up at right there at number 3, if we stay in Class B, is Elkhorn North.
Won Elkhorn North Bennington this week.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rivalry, right? Elkhorn North is the team that beat Skutt.
Well, they're right down the street.
Yeah, they're 5 minutes from each other. And also, Bennington lost their first game in 48. Do you think that Cam Lenhart has Bennington's supreme focus this week?
Yeah. That's
tough spot for Elkhorn North.
Well, and Elkhorn North, they had a scare. Gretna East was pretty competitive with them. Yeah, came back, tried to give themselves a chance to in that fourth quarter. But Elkhorn North, they got to get their passing game going again a little bit. Obviously, Tingelhoff, they've been leaning on him more often recently, but the last couple of weeks, Beachy hasn't been able to put up the numbers. Only had 56 passing yards in this one. But defense. Yeah, they had 3 takeaways, but they also allowed 4 passing touchdowns. So I don't know that Bennington will stress them the exact same way, because obviously we'll see what they do at quarterback this week. Hill's had a great season, but they went to the young kid pretty early in that one. Not that that's the wild thing about the game is just it wasn't like either team put up a bunch of points against the other's defense. Mm-hmm. It was the special teams, the block kicks, the kickoff returns. There were all kinds of specialty points in that one that allowed it to get as high scoring as it did.
There were 3 special teams touchdowns in the game. That's a ton.
Yeah, 100%, especially when they happen
a
multitude of ways.
Bennington block kick for a touchdown.
Score,
and then a punt return. Or block punt.
Yeah, punt return, and then a kickoff return.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, it's funny. You look at the rankings with Skutt, Bennington, Elkhorn North. Seward's handled their business,
Seward
and they they fall in 2 consecutive weeks in a row without losing.
It's the East Coast bias thing.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's got to be.
The whole Pac Biggie thing.
Where's the coast?
Seward, coast of the Missouri River.
Wow.
Seward is now. This is how good I think Seward probably is. They're leading the wild card points. They would, if the playoffs started today, they'd be the number 1 seed.
Wow.
So they're also the only undefeated team.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I saw a deal projection-wise, not to just to talk wild card points. If Westside beats Papillion on Thursday, we'd have 46-6 in terms of points, which is what's 3 more points. It's almost 3 full points more than the next closest is 43 and some change, or 44.
44 and a half.
That's.
Yeah, it's 45.875 and 44 and a half. It's a whole. That's a lot. It's a big gap.
Interesting that in Seward at their place. Go ahead.
In that conversation, it also tells you how much tougher District A1 is than every other district.
Yeah, with so it's obviously us. It's Prep,
Papio
Central,
and Fremont.
Yeah, tells you how much.
Boy, and we'll get to what happened in A, but that quarterback spot at Fremont, what a dagger.
Yeah, I think I called that a Pyrrhic victory last week. That's definitely the way it played out.
We'll finish up in real quick.
Seward 26-0 win, and now they get Crete this week. So, like you said, it looks like they're going to head in the postseason unbeaten there. Edison Knott had a great game. Treston Haas did his thing. Scottsbluff took care of business. 2014, McCook gave them.
They won it.
Yeah, they
That's
took
just a big rivalry.
Yeah.
Too.
Right there.
It was 20-7 after the third quarter, and McCook scored in the fourth, and then Scottsbluff was able to get the stops they needed. 122 yards apiece for Kelly and Smith. And that's probably the impressive thing about Scottsbluff is they got two guys that are going to count for all their yards.
Every week.
And every week, the balance they get between those two, running that option offense. And they got a Hail Mary, the 40-yard touchdown at the end of the first half in this one from Kelly, too, who not going to throw it a ton, but he can make the throws when you ask him to.
Can I go back to the seedings real quick to that top four? Because it's always about who's on your side of the bracket of the odds and evens. Do you flip-flop spots between the winner of Elkhorn North and Bennington?
I think
Does the winner get the
it's
two?
a district game too, so that matters. Skutt wins the district if they beat Blair. If Elkhorn North wins, though, they're the district winner because they're all in the same district, which is crazy. Maybe the two. They're tied for second right now.
So
Bennington and Skutt.
So Seward as the one gets the 3.
Actually, Seward is a full. They're 44.
Yeah, so they're the 1.
Yeah, they're
so the
one.
3 on their side
would be Skutt or Bennington or Elkhorn North. It just kind of depends.
Gee,
They're all pretty close. But Scottsbluff will likely definitely be the 5.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, they're all 3. Well, Elkhorn North has to beat Bennington in order to move to the 2-3 spot.
Because now that's what everybody's looking at, right?
But would you rather be the 4?
So the 4 goes with the 2.
No,
4 goes with 1.
1 and 4,
2-3. That's right. 2-3 go
If
together.
Seward's the 1, would you rather be the 4 is the question. Seward's still pretty good. I think they're very undervalued. I've said that all year.
But the thing is, all the rest of them have played each other,
I know.
and they haven't seen Seward.
I know.
So that's
You
want
want
a rematch?
You want to
Opposite Bennington?
yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And you only want to have to play Skutt or Bennington
Once.
Yeah.
You only want one of those on your side of the bracket,
right.
So
it's
because you only have to win one of those games on your half.
There's a lot riding on that one game.
Yeah.
Coach is jockeying for position. I just go out and win and see what happens. Right? That's kind of what you're going to say.
Yes.
Yep. The 6 there's Waverly held on 28-21 win over Norris there at 7. Waverly is looking like the 6th seed as well. So another solid team there. That was, Nathan Axman is definitely back. 37 carries for 202 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they rested him a little bit though too.
Also,
he was banged up.
They were up, and then Jarrett Barons found Dallas Washington for a touchdown with 4 minutes to go to give Norris a chance, and then Waverly was able to run out the clock there to secure that win. But that's another. I mean, we had a handful of top 10 games, and that one looks like it certainly lived up to the expectations. That one, good battle there. And then Gretna East got a big one against Gretna this week, kind of close out the regular season. That'll be a fun one there. Gretna East, again, gave Elkhorn North a scare, and Gretna put up another 50 spot there against Ralston. So, and Elkhorn beat Blair. So, kind of not a whole lot of change in the back end there. But yeah, the surprise of the week was right at the top.
And a highly, highly entertaining game.
Yeah.
I think Gretna East gets in if they win that game.
Ooh, big one.
I don't think it's a lock for them, so they have to win to get in.
Yeah, so we got Bennington, Elkhorn North, Gretna East, Elkhorn, and Norris. So some good matchups there in B to close out the regular season.
Nothing wrong with starting with Class B. They had the best game of the week, but we'll hop to A now.
They've been the most competitive.
Yeah, especially now that all
A's
those.
a little different. Only one ranked matchup of the week, and that's you guys Westside against Papillion Vista, which
Coming
is
up,
1 versus 10.
Yeah, we talked last week, Jerome. Was it weird to see Papio drop those 4 spots or 3 spots? Seeing them at 10 didn't seem right.
Yeah, and the coaches poll. Yeah, it felt a little like I don't know. They still don't believe him. I don't
Overly punitive for the law. Yeah,
it wasn't a bad loss.
No.
As we see now, Central rising up. That just what they,
I think it's
they got
also
another win
one
this week.
I think it's also a thing where like
last week.
people didn't know the injury situation. Like Miller North has a big injury.
Yeah.
Like so that matters. People didn't know that maybe last Sunday. a little early for that. So,
yeah, Central's going to be interesting as we get to them because that's a team that if they stay
They're
as
scary.
the seedings are right now, they would get potentially Millard South in the second round, and would not be they would not be afraid of that matchup.
No.
Zero love lost in that one, but we won't fast forward. Yeah, there's a lot of football to be played. We'll start with what happened with Westside.
Yep, 47-7. We were all there. Well, he took off at halftime, but you and I were there for the end.
It was 41-0 at half, and I was like, I'm cold. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Deceptive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, that win was ridiculous. I think you mentioned you guys went out to kick before the game and the ball went backwards.
Yeah, it's like we're in trouble here. These are 3-yard punts, right? So we wanted to play the win early to see if we get off to a good start.
And Tay Jenkins, you guys leaned on him and had a monster game against his former school, 244 yards of ground. He had 200 that in the first half.
He's incredible.
Yeah, the play where he ran up the middle and just absolutely trucked the linebacker and kept knocked him back 3-4 yards like that. I told you guys got him listed at 5'8" or whatever. That's generous. Standing next to him, but it does not matter. That dude is tough.
He's got such a great disposition, really good personality, and it's good. It's good to see him flourish.
Back to the playoff thing. If everyone wins, it looks like Central and Papillion would be first round game on Westside
rematch.
side.
Really?
And that would be the second round matchup for Westside.
Awesome.
If everyone wins. They're playing really well.
It's fine. We'll take whomever, but I don't like the first round matchup after the last season game.
Well, you would get a Westview or some whatever. That would be a second round game.
I'd like to see a new opponent.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Somebody we haven't played. This is a couple years in a row where there'll be a ton of teams in the playoffs that were on our schedule.
That's why you're the number one seed.
Yeah,
so you know what I mean. So
it's strength of schedule is banked into the wildcard points, so that's why you're in there.
So Westside took care of business. Millard South 56-10 against North Platte. Kearney 43-14 against Columbus. Elkhorn South 45-13 against Norfolk. Just the top teams taking care of business. And just a stat from friend Ryan Borchers here. 124 games between Class A teams this year. 16 decided by one score. That's it, just 16. 23 were decided by 50+, and over half, 68, were decided by 30+. So we talked about the bad look of the Millard South Lincoln High game and how that ended, and certainly you don't want any forfeits. And we'll see now Millard South doesn't get a play this week because of the forfeit from Benson, but this isn't anything new, and it's not a Millard South thing. It's just the state of Class A football, and there's not a whole lot you can do from a football perspective to change that. Teams have to play somebody, and you're not going to have all the best teams just play each other every single week. You got to balance the schedules out somewhat. So it's just the way it is, unfortunately. One top 10 matchup was the one that you were at on Friday with Bellevue West and Omaha North. And
this outcome, I don't know why. You guys are maybe I'm the dumb one. This kind of surprised me. You two seem to not be as taken aback.
Well, no Tyson Terry for Omaha North, but they did have Duran Cannon. So that
Cannon had a really nice game.
What's a big lift because he's a good player.
Hey, but
it was the Darion Jones game.
He's great. He's a great player.
He had 2 picks. One was a pick six. He had a touchdown receiving.
Another All-Nebraska selection.
And it didn't get out of control.
So there's 2 spots taken right there between.
Right. Yeah. And it didn't get out of control until Will Anderson went out with what appeared to be a shoulder injury on their touchdown.
Yeah.
North was up at that point.
It was 7-6 at the half, right?
Yeah. They scored to take that, but then they lost Anderson on the touchdown.
It didn't appear to be a shoulder injury. Dude was in a sling in the second half.
Then 20-0 in the third quarter. And basically 2 of those touchdowns back-to-back plays.
Wasn't great.
Yeah, so that it turned in a hurry, but it turned in a hurry because of the guy that he just mentioned, Darian Jones.
Yeah, he was electric. He was all over. It was unreal.
Off a turnover, 32-yard touchdown, just went up and snagged it out of the air. And then pick 6 as well for Jones.
Bellevue West fumbled 5 times.
Yeah. That's can't win a game like that.
And some of those, and I would say 3 of those were snaps. Like the snap was high or low, or most of the time it was too high. Like, what? It's week 8, man. Like, what are we doing? Both teams didn't snap it very well, to be honest. Like, just high snaps.
And
wind wasn't blowing that bad.
Not like Thursday, I can tell you that.
And now we have to see what this means for WS going forward, because they already had to move their backup quarterback, Tristan James, to running back.
And I liked him there, too.
He's being effective there. So now that hurts you in 2 spots, because you got to figure something else out at a running back if you have to move James over to quarterback.
Probably have to figure out how to get Keith more touches.
Put him in.
I think you talked when you talked to Huffman, he said like they moved him in the slot, started trying to do some different things. So we've seen them evolve throughout the season. It's just they got a lot of.
Listen, they got WS has to find a way to get Jermaine Green the ball.
Yes.
He had 2 targets.
Yeah, he's explosive.
Just tell him to run fast in a straight line, and we're just going to throw the ball as far as we can. Dude, how about that? Try that once.
He got us.
Like just one time, just
we saw the
couple
back
times.
Of his
Hey,
jersey.
I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna throw this as far as I can, and you just run under it.
Yeah. Let's talk trends. As obviously with Papio's got a big one with us, but teams that you think are moving in the right direction that may be kind of off the radar.
Millard West.
Okay. Yeah, because they've won how many in a row?
They've won 4 in a row. They're a good team. They got Westview.
I told you, coaching job of the year right there.
And Westview's, like, it's at Westview. It's real small, tight, all that. Like,
Petey kept that team together despite the schedule. They could have folded.
Very much so.
And I've seen other teams fold over
great
less.
job. And projection would be Millard West if they win over Westview, playing Kearney.
So who's
14-3 in the first round.
Yeah, that makes Kearney the 3.
Tough.
They'd be 8-1.
Yeah.
But we like. I mean, Kearney was that we liked them at the beginning of the year.
They're right. They're squarely the 3rd team, I think. And
ahead of Elkhorn South. Elkhorn South was. I know you're looking at me.
I think
they were. That's a better.
They got
team.
Succo back.
Yeah,
Succo is way good.
That's a better team than they showed against us. That was more emotional than physical.
Yeah, for sure. Well, when they run out in the middle of your cheerleaders and then bury about 2 of them, one of them has a concussion, that's probably not a good look.
I mean,
it was emotional. You could tell there was a little more.
It's an emotional. It was an emotional game.
There's a little more to it.
Yeah, so Millard West and then Central is like we talked about
Central's
the other one on the rise. 13-10 over Millard North. They were down. They had 28 yards in the first half, and I think what's impressive is we talked about kind of them handling things early in the season. Mm-hmm. They bounced back from that and found a way to win in the second half, as opposed to letting it get away from them.
Yeah,
so
they're pretty battle tested, and they played a tough schedule.
Southeast and Lincoln East is a big one this week too. Lincoln East gets in the playoffs with a win. So
must have it.
And Southeast is in, I would imagine.
And Prep is win and get in, right?
Has to win. Yeah. They have to win.
So
at Norfolk, which is not a layup.
Is it easy? Is it automatic? Not easy. Is it automatic with the win are they in?
Yeah.
Because they got to be down at the wild card talk now because of
they're down low. They have to win the game to be Prep is. Oh wow. Yeah, they're 18th, tied for 18th in the wild card points at 3 and 5.
Wow. That schedule is not nice.
Not nice. No. But they have to win. I think if they win, they get in.
So if it goes according to plan, 1, 2, 3, 4 goes Westside, Millard South, East, then South.
Westside, Millard
or Kearney,
South,
I'm sorry.
Kearney, Elkhorn South.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and then you'd have Omaha North, Papillion, South. Well, Papillion would. It depends on that game. If they would drop or go up, and then Southeast depends on their game if they drop or go up. Central has a chance to maybe.
Like quietly, Southeast is kind of hung around.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're good. I mean,
they're just in the receiving votes thing. I think it's because of the loss to Prep early on, where they got shut out 20.
Which we were like,
yeah, it was odd, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're probably a little better than receiving votes in our coaches poll.
Shout outs, young Jacob.
Yeah, we'll skip the shout-outs. We got to mention a couple of the C2 games last week that we previewed. Norfolk Catholic 19-14 over
tough.
Battle
Tough
Creek.
game.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people
So that's
there.
1 versus 4 there.
That catch made Sports Center.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Battle Creek was up 14-13 after the third quarter, but Norfolk Catholic rallied in the fourth, went ahead and held on there. A couple of big field goals from Max Hammond there, make the difference there, 38 42-yarders.
Really good athlete.
Yeah, those are not layups either.
No. And again, that ended up being the difference in the game there. So good. So Norfolk Catholic holds on there at the number 1 spot, and then Hardington Cedar Catholic 28-23 over Oakland Craig. So that's 3 versus 5. Brighton Whitmire, 22 carries, 160 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Well, OC's lost some toughies.
Man,
Yeah.
their schedule
Again,
is so hard.
their schedule is
They've
ridiculous.
lost some tough.
They got 23 players.
And we know how explosive that passing game can
Yeah,
be.
Anderson, he can throw it.
And they limit him to 158 passing yards and just 1 touchdown. So that speaks to the Hardington Cedar Catholic's defensive game plan there. And now we get to see Cedar Catholic take their shot at Norfolk Catholic, close out the last week in C2.
In Hardington.
Yeah.
So, low top. Like,
So, yeah,
I like that
Norfolk
look.
Catholic
He's
is
like
not
it.
coasting into the postseason by any means.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And then in C1, Shadron took its first loss to Gehring, though, up in Class B. Limited Quinn Bailey to just 156 yards and a touchdown.
I know what you're saying, though, because I mean, he puts up monster numbers.
And so now Shadron has to try to bounce back against number 2 Sydney in the last week of the regular season. And then Columbus Lakeview is going to O'Neill, both 8-0. It's 4 versus 7. That's one of your game of the week options there.
That's a 3-hour drive, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got cell service in O'Neill.
I like.
Awesome. Bruce Ross is over here saying no.
That was my one thing. Like, do they got cell service up there?
That's the worst about like traveling and making press boxes and stuff is just the reception is not good.
Yeah.
No bueno. And that's another week. Another week that is rapid fire, as comprehensive as you're going to get in this time next week. We'll be talking playoffs. D2, or 8-man, I should say. You guys are already getting started, so we'll be elbows deep into that as we preview this bad boy as well. That's my man, Michael Sautter. That is Jacob Padilla. That's another week of NEB Preps. Stay tuned next week. Don't you dare miss us.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.